we're going to read part of the religion textbook together. So make sure you're on page 193 so you can read along. Sharing is a sacred duty. Justice means giving everyone what he or she deserves. Everyone deserves a share in God's creation. In a just world, everyone's rights would be respected. Instead of just wanting more and more, the strong would try to make life better for everyone. All people deserve dignity. God wants us to make this a just world. Today, many do not have enough to live comfortably. We who live comfortably and have what we need should provide for their needs and share with them. Take a minute to think about those who are not living comfortably right now. I know a lot of us are not in our regular kind of routine now during e-learning. But what's one way that you can reach out to somebody to make them more comfortable, make them more happy at this time? In Luke 16:19 through 31, Jesus tells a story that warns the rich not to be selfish. There was a rich man who wore beautiful clothes and ate wonderful feasts. A poor, starving man named Lazarus lived in the streets outside the rich man's house. Lazarus would watch the rich man eat. He would think how even just the scraps left over for the rich man's dinner might feed him. The rich man saw Lazarus and shut the door on him. When Lazarus died, he was carried into heaven by angels. When the rich man died, he fell into the torments of hell. The rich man saw Lazarus in heaven with Abraham. He begged Abraham to send Lazarus to comfort him. Abraham reminded the rich man that during his life, he did not share what he was given. Lazarus had been given little, and though he suffered in life, he was now at peace. It was impossible to bring comfort to the rich man in hell. The rich man begged Abraham to send Lazarus to warn his brothers of the agony of hell. Abraham answered, "They have their warnings already. They have Moses and the prophets. If your brothers will not listen to them, they will listen to no one, not even one back from the dead." I really like this story. I think it's really interesting how Jesus shows how when we are in heaven, when we are after we've died, we will know everything about ourselves instead of those excuses that we make of, oh no, it's fine. Like, I don't have to be charitable to my little sister because she's not nice to me. But later, we'll be able to really see what our actions mean and what they mean to others. So think about how we act, and you want to be able to get to heaven and talk to Jesus and say, like Lazarus was able to talk to Abraham and see how all of the things that you did were good. And though you might have suffered, you shared in the kingdom. You shared your life with Christ with others. Okay, page 194. Christians share with those in need. Many in this world go hungry. Some do not have warm clothes or money for medicine. Some have no homes. People who live like this are unable to live a decent human life. Jesus says, "Whatever you did for one of these least brothers of mine, you did for me." Every person deserves to live comfortably and with dignity. As Christians, we must share what we have. The life of Lawrence, who became a saint, can help serve as inspiration. Lawrence was a deacon of the early church in Rome. He cared for widows, orphans, and those who were poor. Christians gave all they could to the deacons of the church. Lawrence gave the money and goods to those in need. The Roman emperor feared Christians and ordered them put to death. The soldiers murdered Pope Sixtus II and other church leaders. Lawrence knew the soldiers would catch him soon. He gave to those who were poor everything the church had collected. Spies saw him, and they reported that the Christians must have great treasure hidden somewhere. Lawrence was arrested. When the governor met Lawrence, he was friendly. "I know that you Christians have great riches," he said. "Jesus said to Caesar, 'What is Caesar's?' So bring us your treasures." Lawrence replied, As you say, our church is very rich. Give me 3 days, and I will bring you our treasures. What do you think Lawrence is going to bring him? What do you think the treasures of the church truly are? Are they precious things? Are they silver and gold? Hmm. Lawrence returned after 3 days. Come, he said, I have brought the treasures of the church. When he stepped outside, the governor grew furious. What is this? He shouted. Lawrence had wandered the streets of Rome, gathering those who were poor, sick, and disabled. These are the treasures of the church, he told the governor. We cherish them more than we cherish gold or silver or all the wealth of your emperor. The governor ordered Lawrence to be burned alive. Even as he burned, Lawrence talked and joked with the soldiers. Then he began to pray. He prayed until the moment he died. The story of his martyrdom spread far. Everywhere Christians renewed their care for those in need. So, St. Lawrence served the poor in his community. He was able to do that through his vocation of being a deacon. He was able to serve the church. Now, most fifth graders can't just walk around the streets serving those in need in that way. It's not safe for you guys. But what are things that you can do to serve those around you? Who are those people that you are called to serve that are close to you right now? So I want you to be thinking about that, especially now when life is a little different. We can think of new ways to serve those around us.